Hello, it's your sleepless god back with what if Percy Jackson was trained by Persephone and Hades. I almost messed that fucking shit up, didn't I? This is actually kind of fun to do, honestly. God, I love this. It's not really a job anymore, but it's more of a sense of me having a blast with this. And female audience, I don't think I have any, but just in case. But yeah. So last time we left off, Percy, he didn't join the quest actually. Instead of him being like, I need to do this, he said, if I fail, I will die. He knows he will be the person who sacrifices himself. He knows that. It's in his blood, it's in his veins, even, to sacrifice himself for the people he loves and cares about. And with that, he decided it would be better if they save her than him. But Nico said something different. He said, didn't you hear what they said? More is better. More is better, always. And even Hades backed up that, to the point where Percy grabbed Blackjack and started flying. And the only one who stopped him is when he landed on a building and he felt veins wrap beside him as he felt Mr. D. As that's where we ended off last time, let's start the what if. As Mr. D's vines wrapped around Percy and Blackjack, as Percy, instead of going angry, he becomes calm. As Blackjack starts to worry, as he says stop. As he stands up on Blackjack, and Blackjack says, well, Master, what are you doing? Talking. As Mr. D, I told you to, and I told you that this will end with me dead. As Mr. D, I will most likely die on this quest. I'm the sacrificial lamb here. And I know that it'll be for the better. As Mr. D says, kind of cocks his head as he looks at Percy with all seriousness in his eyes. Are you ready to die? No. But if I have to, I will. As the vines kind of take away, and he says, problem child. As he takes a step and almost disappears like the wind. As he says, as Blackjack starts flying again, trying to catch up to the car, he says, why did Mr. D let us go? Because he didn't expect me to say that I knew. I already knew I most likely will die. And he says, Master, don't even say that. He said, it's not false. I most likely will. As he smiles, but if I don't, I'll save Annabeth. As they start flying again, as hours go by, as Percy's hands are stuck like ice, as he actually had to use a boost on Blackjack to keep him moving without him being exhausted, as they finally turn to a museum. As Percy says, it's time, as Blackjack lands on a building, as he kind of crumples a little bit to the weight, as Percy instantaneously gets off and pets him. When you're ready, go back to camp. As Blackjack says, no, no, you go get back where I'm going. He grabs the cap. No one can follow. As he becomes invisible, as he launches off the building, landing, doing a roll, protecting his body and moving all the, a trickle of force all around his body. He starts to walk up to it as he hears the voices of Talia, Luke, and the rest. As there's only 5 of them. As he hears them bickering, as Talia says, "How the fuck did you get your driver's license?" As uh, Zoe says, "Driver's license? What is a driver's license?" As you hear Luke says, "You don't have your driver's license?" As Nightshade says, "Of course I don't have that a piece of basically paper. I never needed one." As they open up the museum, as Percy, right behind them, takes a step and launches his body kind of forward in a way where he dodges the door. As they keep on walking, he hears something. Almost senses something as he walks over to a door, as he creaks it open, as he sees a man, a giant. He hears a voice. He creaks inside slowly as he sees a bunch of men, most of them with guns, some type of weaponry, as he creaks into the door, almost forgetting that he's invisible, but keeping his body as he hears the voice of, as he looks up, he sees the general, as he hears the voice. "Men, our prey is here, preparing to be striked. We need..." It's one of the men holding an AK-47 says, "Tylenol? Ice pack? It shall pass. It shall pass." As you see, his neck is tense as can be, as he almost grabs one of his muscles just to flex it out a little bit. As he looking down, he says, "Did you grab the stuff that it was needed?" As one of the men walk up with a bag full of teeth, as he puts it down, and he says, "Yes, of course I did." As Percy sees her. She's a short, cut woman, buff as can be, but you see her, she's weak. She's skinnier than she was before. As it's, gosh dang it, that's Chris. I was gonna say Christine. No, it's something close to that. Fuck it. As she says, "Would it be necessary, master, for this level of threat?" As he says, "Are you questioning me?" He says, "No, I just wanted to make sure that we're not wasting resources on something is trivial." As he nodded, says, "Don't worry, it won't be." As it seems like skeleton-like figures claw out of themselves, as Percy sees it. His black blade on his neck, as he grabs his necklace and pulls it out, feels like it needs to cut almost. As he looks up, as the skeleton-like figures are clawing out, as he looks up and he realizes who it is. The man who holds the heavens up. Holy fucking shit. As he launches down, cracking the ground, he says, "Beautiful." As Percy says, "Well, it's now or never." As he comes up, and one of the pins on the grenades, he pulls 3 more. But the guards don't even notice as they hear all pins drop. As kaboom! You see a pock of smoke as the grenades blew up, but shrapnel hits everyone else. As some of them duck down, as others didn't even know those happened. As Percy's black blaze shoves into one of them, turning it into dust. As the general, he gets mad as he grabs the fucking, almost grabs entire column as he smashes it. He says, "Someone's here. Find him!" As the door creaks open as you hear Percy. "Men, go!" As you hear a bunch of soldiers from the Ares cabin rush off, launching down and rushing towards it as the general raises his hand. "No. I have one more," as he lays down another tooth as he summons the lion. As he hears, it thunders out as Percy starts to run. He's like, shit, as he ducks over, falling over. As you see, the cap takes off a little bit, but before it falls completely off, he grabs it, puts it in his pocket as Annabeth is fucking gonna kill him if he loses that shit. As he runs through, as you see someone trying to making hot dogs in kind of a stand kind of way, as he runs through it and jumps through it, as he sees Talia, as he slides, hitting the wall. It slides, hitting his back onto the ground, but doing like kind of a flip motion as the floor is kind of, as he skirts right by Talia, as he stands up. And he looks over and says, "Well, fancy meeting you here." As Talia looks over, and kind of smiles as Luke walks up and grabs his shoulder and says, "So, what's going on?" As he hears a roar. And he says, "Understandable. I now know now we know what we're doing." As the mammalian lion pops out. As Percy looks over and says, "I don't know about you guys, but I'm not as strong as Hercules." So, as it jumps, as you see the claw, you see the mouth open wide as it bites down, kind of sliding on the floor, and he says, shit, as he slides with it, as he looks up and he sees Nico's sister, scared, but also prepared, raising her bow and firing, but it hits the pelt and breaks. He says, "No. Wait. As he's looking over as the lion is about to roar, but realizes something and keeps his mouth shut. Fuck. As he rushes over, grabbing his black bait and his normal rib tide, rushing over as the creature's about to claw, dodging it with just a little bit of ease to a taking a simple step and bringing his, now trying to stab his eyes as the lion keeps his eyes shut. He stabs into it. It doesn't pierce. Fuck. As he grabs puts it into the fur, launching off, he sees arrow after arrow hitting in the beast, but not piercing, as he screams, "Zoe!" As Zoe looks at him and says, "Give," as he points out 1 second. Distracted, as he rushes off to the food court and just grabs a bunch of the most randomest shit and just says, "Let's see if this works." As he rushes out, he sees Zoe running off. Boom, 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 boom. 3 shots. Hits the lion 3 times. Ding, 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 ding. As the lion opens his mouth and just slightly, just a roar as he shoves everything in there as the lion gags and fucking opens his mouth wide in this way of disgusting feet as he slows down time, rushing over to cuts the mammalian lion in the mouth and putting it right next to his throat and then restarting time again. Its mouth is trying to shut, but it can't because it's immortal skin plus its mouth. And he says, as he screams out, "Fire!" As you see Zoe, Talia, and everyone, anyone with a long range weapon fires. Lightning hits the creature in its mouth as thousands of arrows hit into the creature as it launches down. As he grabs his blade and rips it out, putting it right over to it, he says, "Oh, shit." As it fades into a jacket. As he looks over, Zoe grabs him he says, "Why are you here?" And he says, "I think you need reinforcements." He looks over at the jacket, the pelt almost. He grabs it. He walks up to D'Angelo's sister, Nico's sister, rips it over her back, and it turns into this nice kind of cloak with a hood on it, covering her body. As she looks at it and says, "The Mammalian Lion. You technically, no, you deserved it." In his mind, he's thinking, this will keep her protected. As he says, as he hears a roar cry, almost in a sense, we better get going, as this is where we're going to end off the video. I hope you guys like it. If you have any other ideas for any other, videos and all that kind of stuff, please give a comment down below. If you just want to say good job, post that down below. If you also have fan art for anything that you want to do, please post that down below too. I would love to look at that kind of shit, and I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.